All right, guys. Can you guys hear me now? A little late on the on the setup here, but we all are all ready to go. Hopefully, hopefully everyone's doing pretty good this Saturday night. I was a little busy earlier today and stuff, but I did get to check out Nikki's live show over on Sasquatch Secrets on YouTube, and you guys should really check out that channel because it's a pretty good open-minded discussion with a number of good variety topics. Good people that usually get on there and stuff. Usually find me in the chat when I get the time. The show's usually on Sundays, so for those of you who are not subscribed over there, please do so. So yeah, we're gonna hang out. Put the link into the chat here pretty soon. We could get going here a little bit, get some more people joining, and we'll have some people come on, maybe talk about a little bit Bigfoot stuff and some other things. Probably going to show the video that I just posted a couple hours ago. That's been floating around on social media lately, and so we might take a look at that and pretty much just hang out and stuff. We are going to do a show on Tuesday. All right, just make sure everything's okay. See if we're going on Rumble. We are. All right. All right. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff in this video. If you guys haven't seen it, something is in the tree shaking around and actually causes some pretty interesting damage and stuff. So definitely check it out. We'll probably play later in the live stream as we get more people in and get towards more the middle of the show. But so yeah, Nikki actually had a pretty interesting show with Sasquatch and surviving winter and winter topics. Very pretty interesting show with Pat Turner and Tristan and Tate on there. So okay. So we're just hanging out on stuff. Unfortunately, I had some car repair issues and stuff, so I'm not able to get out in the field on this beautiful, warm night. But that's okay. You know, things happen. You know, we actually haven't had too much snow lately, so it's kind of already starting to be one of those mild winters and stuff. Very easy in the environment and ecosystem, so a lot more animals are able to easily get food and not have to stress about the harsh weather, finding food and starving and stuff, which usually is what animals have to struggle during winter. You know, it's not necessarily staying warm. Most of the time, it's finding adequate amounts of food and not slowly starving yourself throughout winter with malnutrition and overexerting yourself, burning through calories to stay warm, but you also just stay active. In winter, you're massively wasting so much more calories doing 2 to 3 times the amount of work in the snow, especially deep snow in the woods, especially some of these northern states, especially up in the UP where you get dumped. Massive amount of calorie usage. So finding food and storing food and getting vast amounts of food, I think, is more of the real issue for Sasquatches and stuff, instead of staying warm or having to really, the other issue is to hide from humans, is leaving tracks and stuff. You follow a trackway all the way back to a cave or wherever they're hanging out. Pretty easy to do, since most trackways, especially during after long periods of a blizzard and stuff, where there's no snowfall, it's not melting, but it's nice, crisp, cold. A lot of that snow impact will last for weeks and stuff within the right conditions and stuff. But we have winter like we're having now, where we get a little bit of snow and then it melts here in a week or 2 or 3 weeks and stuff. And then you go a couple days, a couple weeks, mildly freezes over, but you don't really have a good amount of snowpack that lasts. I mean, you really only have to wait until the weather gets really bad to cover up your tracks of the winter, or for it to get better and warmer and then to melt the snow, so you don't have to worry about leaving tracks if all the snow is already going to be melted by the next day or two. Probably going to make a move and migrate more compared to if there's no weather changes, and if they make this track line, it's going to be there for a while, and there's no blizzard, there's no snow to cover the tracks, it's not going to melt. I think they hunker down and stuff. They gather their food and resources and use the elements to their advantage. Meat's not going to sour, go bad as fast, especially when there's snow and ice on the ground. So, and of course, when there's not enough ice and snow, it's not going to be cold. The snow is all melted, so they don't have to really worry about tracks and can go get more food or wherever they need to skedaddle to. There's a lot of unanswered questions when it comes to Bigfoot and this phenomenon we keep seeing and stuff, and people keep encountering, because logically and stuff, if you look at some of the databases and how many sightings there are, or just flat out how many researchers claim that they are having face-to-face or close encounters, there seems to be a big discrepancy of why we can't gather the evidence we should have. But also in winter, where I know a bunch of people right now who are claiming they've just received some gifts, some tracks and stuff that have been posted, some interesting stories and stuff. Of course, there's no video evidence, there's no photographic evidence, there's only these stories of the Bigfoot left this gift for me. And the issue especially is that person usually says, well, I don't want to disturb them, they're my friends, and I don't like to go out there in winter, blah blah blah. And it's really unfortunate stuff, especially when if that was really going on, you should be able to have tracks and evidence and all sorts of really good stuff that you should be able to produce nonstop. So it's a little frustrated as winter moves in, as we're here, when all the researchers kind of are like, they migrated out of the area, or I don't go out until springtime because the Bigfoot aren't in my area, or they don't even try, so they just assume the Bigfoot has migrated out because that person doesn't want to get off the couch and go outside and freeze their ass off. So theoretically, the Bigfoot obviously just aren't there, or they are there, and again, for whatever reason. I love winter. I think it's a perfect time to go out, investigate, especially since you could find potential tracks and trackways, and is one of the only times where you could find potential tracks and follow them instead of them vanishing out of thin air or being lost through different terrains and stuff. If you can track them through a swampy area, and then they switch on to more rocky terrain or rough or leaf debris where you can't find the tracks, they're not discernible anymore. In the snow, I mean, unless they go into a portal or a UFO, they're really not going to go anywhere. You could follow them for miles, theoretically. If it's snowing or vastly melting that day through sunshine, it's going to deteriorate and you might not be able to follow it. But if there's no blizzard, there's no snow coming down, and you can potentially follow tracks that have been there for a long time. So winter's one of the best times to get physical evidence, because if you are having a Bigfoot activity right over there and you're in the woods and it's winter, I mean, just go over there and there should be some disturbance on the ground. There should be something, you would think, right? And, unless they're over on the other side of a river, or they're on some obstacle that you can't actually get over to or cross or venture past, you should be able to go over there, especially if you hear tree knocks or you have something. Now, there's times where stuff happens after the fact where we've got recordings of tree knocks in winter where we're sleeping and stuff. We didn't know the stuff's going on and didn't even know stuff was going on until we get back home from the trip, look on the computer and discover, oh, we have a bunch of tree knocks going off over here across this little path over in this little chunk of woods that we never even went into because we never even knew, didn't decide to go over there. And also we didn't check the recorders that night, or weren't we able to through we didn't have no computers. We weren't able to know to go over there, and there could be potential tracks over there. Or if we would have heard all these knocks and we went over there and there's nothing on the ground, and maybe we found a tree broken down or some other instances of another cause of the disturbance, those tree knocks, then that could be vital data for other people who are experiencing stuff. It's unfortunate and stuff because stuff like that does happen, but I mean, if you're having experiences real time in winter and stuff, or you find tracks, you should be able to document it. And you got to know the difference between Bigfoot tracks in the winter and everything else that leaves tracks in the winter. So we're going to do a couple things. Because I always see it and stuff. You always see a bunch of people taking pictures and finding, Bigfoot came in their yard, is what they'll say, and look at the tracks, and they'll take a picture, and it looks like there's something that went through deep snow. And there's several pictures where I remember a couple years ago, a guy was just driving down the road and got out of his car because he seen some tracks, took some pictures and stuff, and it was only like one or two. And it's very interesting because I know a lot of people are very hopeful, and they find these snow tracks, and they're instantly thinking Bigfoot, and they're not thinking anything else. And what you have, and when you do get it a lot, is like stuff like this, where you have there's stuff in the deep snow. Okay, good. Let me change that around so you can see it. So they'll have pictures and stuff where they'll show something that went into the deep snow, and it's in a straight line, and it looks like, it walked off, and it's bipedal because look at the stride length and stuff. And, there's a variety of animals, actually a lot of different animals, practically all of them, especially the smaller animals, that have to jump to get through the deep sand. It's not all easily discernible and stuff. You have stuff like this. Let me open this up in the other tab so we can see this one, where especially they're walking in a straight line and stuff, but through the snow, a lot of animals have to work and jump and stuff. So you can take a picture out there and be like, oh, there's a Bigfoot. And if you're not looking in the actual track, as you can see right here, when we have this little extra hole in the ground, and then you can see where it actually moves, the snow actually moves in the direction. They're not actually looking into the hole to find the actual track of what actually makes it, especially if it's a day or two old with the sun is beginning to melt and deteriorate. These tracks will get wider. These tracks will morph and deteriorate, and you can pull off a Bigfoot walk through my yard shot and kind of get away with it because especially a lot of people don't post the whole track line of, they'll take a picture of a couple tracks like this, and then they'll be like, oh, it's Bigfoot, instead of, why don't you just take a video and follow the tracks until they leave your yard, or where do they go and stuff, until they turn in something, a whole patch of deer. we're feeding underneath the apple tree and stuff, because it would give away the actual uh, reality of the situation. So, all right, switch that over. So, here's another good example of stuff. I didn't pull any from Facebook and stuff. It's kind of lackluster to kind of be doing all that, but there are people out there that are very hopeful and wishful thinking. But I think I mean, they know that it's just bullshit. So winter is a very interesting season for Sasquatching. And it's actually pretty, it actually is hard on the equipment and stuff, especially if you get into some pretty rugged areas you don't actually have, the best equipment or, you'd be surprised the amount of abuse some of the stuff can take. But I've been surprised by some other stuff that has been just junk. Some mostly power banks and stuff. It's always good to buy a little bit more expensive when it comes to having some battery power in the woods and stuff with battery banks and stuff like that. So, but GoPros are actually pretty good in winter because they run super hot. So they actually love to be cooled off while they're burning themselves to death, it seems like. So it's actually pretty useful to actually have a GoPro, and you could run that longer length video if you are hooked up and stuff to, a power bank. You can keep running nonstop continuously, and you don't have to worry about it over freaking heating and shutting off like you do in summer or pretty much every other season. GoPros are kind of, I mean, it's that way. You have everything compact into a small little device, so it's just how it is. But you can't beat the stabilization, so. All right, so I think we're going to take a look at maybe some video clips and stuff. I got one that there's a couple of them, I guess, but we're going to look at some cloaking videos and stuff because a lot of people are thinking and saying that Bigfoot can cloak, and there's actually the Barbara Shoots cloaking Bigfoot video, which I thought was kind of interesting, and I didn't actually realize that. I guess I did realize, but kind of didn't. But it came up when we were. Uh, Actually, it was after the Bigfoot conference when we were at the camp out hanging out. We started talking about it, and I didn't actually realize that it was like 10 years old at this point. I actually had thought it was just like kind of something recently that she had caught. So we're going to probably take a look at that. If you guys can take a look at it. Yeah. Yeah. See, I must have seen it definitely a long time ago because even Bigfoot Tony, a name we definitely haven't heard and seen in a long time, even did a breakdown of it and stuff. I know I've watched all his stuff. So the reason why I got interested, oh, okay, I must have been thinking about the her other video, the Cloaker 2.0 on camera. Maybe that's what it was. That was the newest one. we're going to take a look at 2 of those clips, and then there was another clip of some eye shine like this that someone else took that I remember watching. That was in the tree line. I'll remember it here in a second. Just kind of seeing what she's been up to lately. Actually, I haven't. Okay, 3 weeks ago and 6 months ago. Yeah, there's a lot of different people that I remember watching and listening to, or just that I haven't really been seeing a lot of, and she's been one. So we're gonna take a look at. You know what? I think we have looked at this cloaker video before too, or I mean this glowing eye cloaker 2.0. Yeah, I think we've seen this one on this channel. We've looked at it. We'll look at it again. Let's find the original one first. I thought there was a short one. All right, so I'm gonna skip ahead to where it's actually cloaked and stuff. So you see the entity we're trying to look at right now. All right, let me get this ready so you guys can see it. All right, so first we're going to take a look at this, which is the cloaking Bigfoot. Get some do some commentary on it.
So not a hang, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
something hard and fast.
For any amount
I
of
think
time,
it's
The
in the
heck was
background.
that? Did you see that?
Sam's been checking.
Hello, everybody. We are back out here in the woods again today, and a little bit on. So, anyway, she's just about to.
So this is the reenactment. I wonder if she's going to keep playing it. Right here. Oh, I messed up. Give me a second. Man, now I just clicked on something else. Yeah, I'm trying to just zoom into right here. So I think I just got it on the original instead of. All right, here we go. Sorry for the delay. I'm still getting used to the restream. I keep telling myself I'm gonna jump on here and keep playing with it a little bit more, but I never do. I don't I don't take the time to come on here and stuff. But I'm getting familiar with it. It's pretty easy. All right, here we go. All right, so if you guys can see my mouse, I'm pretty sure it's going to be like over here in the past these 2 trees, these pine trees right here in the middle, towards the kind of left hand side, just on this side. So
Hard and fast.
For any amount of time.
The heck was that? Did you see that?
And Sam's been,
Yeah,
like a thrust and not a hang, you know what I'm saying?
something hard and fast.
For any amount of time.
The heck was that? Did you see that? See that?
Sam's been checking it out.
Yeah. Both ends are still suspended. Pieces that are supporting it at either end.
Right
Had to been,
there, yeah.
Look
here. Look exactly where the look here was.
Pieces that are supporting it at either end.
Yeah, that had to been,
Yeah.
like a thrust and not a hang. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Because
something hard and fast.
for any amount of time,
The heck was that? Did you see that?
Sam's been checking it out. You know,
Yeah,
like a thrust and not a hang. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Because
something hard and fast.
for any amount of time,
The heck was that? Did you see that?
Sam's been, you know,
Yeah,
like a
Okay.
thrust and not a hang. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Because
something hard and fast.
for any amount of time,
The heck was
So yeah, something falls right there. It looks like a piece of the branch, actually.
Yeah.
You can see it right there, this little green piece right there where my mouse is circling. If you guys can see that, should be able to see it. That falls down or moves, or there's something that is cloaked right there, is what they're saying, and moves away right there.
Yeah,
like a thrust and not a hang. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Because
something hard and fast.
for any amount of time.
The heck was that? Did you see that?
And Sam's been, you know,
Yeah,
like a thrust and not a hang. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Because
something hard and fast.
for any amount of time.
The heck was that? Did you see that?
Sam's been,
Yeah, so I thought when I first seen that, actually this year, I must have re-seen it and thought that was new, but the cloaker, the other one. So I mean, it's pretty. I mean, interesting. There's something moving right there. You know, it's not super definitive, but at the same time, I know that she's been doing this for a while and stuff. A very nice lady, and she actually has a. I thought I had seen some couple interesting things. But a lot of her stuff is like, you know, cloaked Bigfoots and you know, Bigfoots in I think very close proximity with her in like bushes and stuff. But this other one was pretty interesting with this like eye shine or eye reflection. And I hope she's doing good and stuff. Like I said, I haven't really seen much, a lot of stuff from her lately. I guess she's been busy doing. All right, so here we go. Get this going. I thought this one was kind of interesting because I've seen this in a different video, and I'm pretty sure it was the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch guys in one of their live streams when or one of the videos when they're actually in the field. There's some eye shine that's like 8 feet up, pretty close proximity to them, and it reminds me of this actually. Same kind of.
and 728. The Cloaker 2.0 flashed his eyes in my direction. I was filming at 60 frames per second, and the eyes appear in just 5 frames. In low light, my camera records darker than it actually is. Here's a video again, lightened to better represent the actual visibility.
Turn that music off. All right, so it's right there. Pretty strong amount of eye shine and stuff, I do have to admit. So as we look and see, it's behind this tree and stuff. Very quickly. So that is about at her eye level, eye height and stuff, I would say, right? I mean, that's pretty significant, pretty good and stuff. The only thing I could really think that could actually be and stuff is maybe an owl. It's pretty low hanging owl. You know, owls typically don't get so close to the ground, especially with a person walking and stuff. But very good catch and stuff. I know Barb's actually does go out there, and you can watch her videos. She goes out there by herself, you know, with her dog, and is one of those people that you might not agree with everything that she says or she thinks that she's experiencing out there and stuff, but she is going out there and stuff, and it's interesting to see what potentially some of the better stuff physically that you're able to see, like this right here. Is it screaming Bigfooter and stuff? No, I mean it could be it could be an owl, it could be possibly a deer, although the distance from the eyes and stuff, I don't see that, and Barb never reported any deer in that area that night or an owl swooping away and stuff. But I think it's very interesting stuff because it does show that there are people trying this stuff, and it is potentially you are able to capture some weird, interesting stuff that we kind of need more of and stuff. It'd be nice to get a little bit more better shot of what exactly it was, or if we had some movement, you could see a silhouette of a body or something. But at the same time, it's better than a lot of people saying, they go out there researching and they don't actually go out there. They're sitting on the couch, and then you have Barb and stuff and other people, other older people or older women and stuff who are out there by themselves, going out there and potentially having experiences and having more chances of getting actual evidence of what, I'm not sure, but it's still very interesting and stuff. So I'll try to find that other clip of the Rocky Mountain Sasquatches, people finding getting some eye shine on their live like a year or two ago and stuff. So and I know a lot of people do not agree or like Rocky Mountain Sasquatch, and there's a long story between and history with all of that, I guess, controversy. And a lot of some people think it's fake bull crap, and I would have to say that there's probably a little truth in everything, and it is at least beneficial that they get some of the more modern reports out there. So yeah, this would have been a while ago. Yeah, so this might be a little hard to find, but it kind of was like the same thing. A little quick eye shine like that. A little bit more up in the tree than what I'm thinking Barb's was shot at. It's about her eye level. So, and if you guys haven't seen that video I just put out, check it out. That is some pretty interesting physical observation that is happening right in front of this homeowner. Is it a Bigfoot? Is a Bigfoot climbing around in this tree on video and snapping limbs and breaking a significant branch right in front of the homeowner as he records? That's a pretty awesome video and stuff. So check it out. Give that video a like. Give it a comment. Of course, if you guys haven't subscribed, give us a little bit of your time to do so. This might be a little harder than I thought. Maybe it's a little older. Yeah. Yeah, so check out that video. It's pretty sweet. Once we do get some car fixes done, so probably not next weekend, but the weekend after that, definitely gonna be able to get out and maybe do some camping. So might have the that Saturday show might be on a Sunday, late night Sunday show, or after Nikki's show, we might have a show on that weekend if I go out and camp and do all that. Maybe if I get signal on for Saturday out in the field, potentially go live out there, but you never know. A lot of areas it's very sporadic, especially if any kind of movement or anything like that. It's pretty bad. All right, so I'm not sure if I'm going to find this. I might have to look at it because and the reason I keep always thinking back to these couple videos is because I actually got some footage of some eye shine that is up in a tree and stuff in this particular area that I didn't see when I was there camping and stuff. I didn't notice it, but the camera picked it up on the infrared, and I've shown it before and stuff. We'll probably actually show it on the New Year's show because I'm thinking I've been kind of floating this around and kind of got some stuff together of just showing a bunch of evidence for New Year's and stuff of some clips and some videos that we took and other people have over the years with us. Some stuff in Florida. And just going over through it and looking at it for the New Year's show. I was kind of debating on having a show and stuff tonight and stuff. I wasn't as prepared for the topic I wanted to do that I had planned to do. That we're moving that until next Saturday. And that is going to be more on Bigfoot and genes and expression of genes that influence a lot more than we take credit for and stuff. So we're going to take a look at some of the stuff with Neanderthals, some of the stuff with chimps and us, and seeing how genes potentially play a lot more factor and roles in individual species that we have now compared to this over and mutating genes and stuff that can change a variety of functions and stuff rapidly instead of taking millions of years of evolutionary time. There's actually some pretty interesting stuff, and also how genes can build different creatures differently than what even we would physically accept as the norm and stuff, like the muscle to bone ratio before you get in power ratio, bone muscle density and to power ratio before you get too big, and how big of a body do you need to lift X amount of weight, and how big of a body can be supported by X amount of muscle before it collapses on itself to lift X amount of weight. We're going to go into some of the interesting stuff that they're finding with genes and Neanderthals and strength when it comes to apes and muscles, and how we are built, and how potentially Sasquatch is built and has different functions than us, and how potentially genes can be activated and cause different biological and behavioral effects rapidly. So I basically have a lot more articles to kind of pull up and kind of want to skim through a little bit more, so I may possibly don't blubber around on the words as bad as I potentially might. But that's basically it. I wasn't kind of feeling ready for that one, so I didn't really want to do that tonight. So we're just gonna hang out and stuff, and then Tuesday night we're gonna kind of hang out again, but we'll be showing more of evidence and stuff from from the Lost Cryptids. I got to pull some stuff from the hard drives, and we're gonna show some 168 footage from Florida, and yeah, gonna be a pretty good night. Hopefully, I have some people on and stuff. I'll probably reach out to some people and see if they're going to be doing a show, what's going to be actually going on, because I might just jump on some other people's show at the same time too, and then bump this evidence show back. So scrapping this Rocky Mountain Sasquatch video, I did not find it in the amount of time that I wanted to. And again, hello to everyone who's watching and stuff. Thanks for everyone who's making a comment. I appreciate that. Johnny Midnight, nice to see you. You're talking about the video. Yeah, the guy doesn't seem too scared, but it seems like he's recognizing that this isn't the first time that's happened. It seems like, but he's kind of recognizing that there's potentially some type of unknown creature that's causing this, but he's not putting his finger on it. He's recognizing, like, man, this is probably not a bear, but he's not quite, like there of like, he's not saying, something, but it's definitely interesting. I mean, it depends, the guy never sees what's actually causing the destruction in the video, even though, you could be scared. A lot of people probably would be scared. I'm sure there's a lot of people like me. I'd be trying to film that. I mean, I probably would have got circled around the tree and maybe with the flashlight and actually like tried to figure out what was causing that instead of shutting it off, because we would probably show the video here another 15 minutes or so once we get in about an hour or so in. I'll probably put the link in the chat to come on the show, and then we'll probably look at the video and get your guys' reactions and opinions and stuff. I think it's pretty interesting. There was one comment that I've already got that says that the video is actually not recent. It's actually a couple of years old, and it's just recently making its round. So, which I thought it could be a possibility, because it's going through like shorts and reels and stuff, so people are taking it, and there's no original backstory from it that I could find. So if there was someone else has the original backstory or the actual person and stuff, we could get some updates and figure out potentially what was going on and stuff, because there could be some natural explanations too. I mean, the tree could be just falling apart if we really wanted to say it, even doesn't explain some of that shaking and some of the stuff in it. But when trees are cracking and falling apart, or just after a pretty bad storm, and it's been kind of doing it on and off all day, if you start hearing it at night, you could go out there and start taking some video, and trees cracking and start to break and stuff. I mean, I'm just trying to think of ways of what can naturally explain that, and it's very interesting. It's a very interesting video, actually, if that is the kind of stuff where if we had something like that happen, and then we got the video of something jumping on the ground and it looks black and it's running, that is the stuff that we need. So I find it very intriguing, just based on first glances of what seems to be happening, and the way that the tree does break. And it's a pretty significant amount of tree that would definitely hurt a person if you were under that, getting smoked by that thing. That thing would definitely injure and maim you pretty good. And I have experience with that, because I cut trees down for a living, and that kind of amount of weight up there coming down and crashing down, especially at a pointed point of contact, it's going to go through you like butter and stuff. It's actually very, very powerful amount of weight and physics going on when it comes to trees. And the amount of weight that is actually there. When you look at a tree, you might think, it's just a little branch. It's not that much. Significantly, depending on the type of species of the tree, actually could have a lot more weight and heft than you would expect. So, which is again pretty interesting that stuff was going on. So if you guys haven't checked out that video, I posted it pretty much to almost all the Bigfoot groups I was in, so probably can't miss it if you're in one of those groups. And it's one of those things. I had actually had another video. I didn't get it prepped up. I guess I can just download it right now. I think I maybe have majority of it ready to go. I think I kind of got busy and stuff. Like I said, I was working on other stuff, and then we got to do a little work on the Blazer. So I didn't get into it, but there's a little fender bender, and then we got to basically got to take out the core support, the fender, front fender, bumper. We'll probably change the radiator, the inner fender wall. Hopefully we bend it back, and then should be pretty much good. I think there's a couple other things, might as well do a couple other things. So yeah, I might have a couple weekends that I can't go anywhere. But that's all right. We'll get it all fixed, square away, ready to go. Everything's straight, frame's not bent. So guess we replace most of the stuff, modular stuff that comes out of the good old Chevys, and put her back in with brand new stuff. Good thing it's cheap and stuff. Especially compared to like modern cars, man. Oof. Can't imagine. So let me finish trying to finish some of the stuff I left for today to finish up, because the Saturdays are usually a pretty good day for me to relax and get some things done, or go out in the woods, or do things that I got time for. But all right, maybe I didn't. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I guess we'll find out. All right, so let me just edit this little video up real fast. It shouldn't take too much. I just got to split it and cut it, and then export it, and then load it up, download it to the computer, and then we'll load it back up to here. Because I got a couple different programs I got for the computer. Then I got I like using Shotcut on the phone for a little fast little editing on the phone. They got the free version and stuff where you can pay. I ended up paying. I bought a whole year's worth because of I like the program and stuff, how fast and easy it is on your phone, and it practically does everything that I like and need, very fast and efficient, that can be done on the phone. And you get the pro version with all the pro stuff, which is mainly just more filters and skipping ads and stuff. So that saves pretty significant time if you're making a lot of videos and stuff. There's amount of time where ads were it was adding up. So I've been getting a lot of discounts and deals actually for a lot of things this last couple months and this year and stuff. Actually, pretty good amount of deals and stuff. I got Shotcut. That was on some type of special deal when I got that. And then Restream gave me a free lifetime 20% off or something like that. 16% off, I think it was. Just from switching from StreamYard to Restream. They gave me the lifetime discount. So I got a whole year of that. And got some equipment at a pretty cheap price. Got my flashlight. That was at discount. I remember that. That was almost $20 comparably. So been a pretty good amount of stuff. Yeah. All right. So this is about done. It's about downloading, and then should be good and stuff. So this video I thought was kind of mediocre and stuff. I thought it could go either way. It could be like this is just total bullshit, or there potentially is some interesting stuff there. But the sound reminds me of some of the Sierra sounds, like gibberish crap. So I kind of thought it was mildly worthy to maybe present to you guys. So I kind of saved it and then was going to show it. But it's not as good as the other video I just posted, which is actual, like, some physical evidence. All right, let me post it here. Do this, do that. I might look a little tired. I'm kind of drained and stuff. I've had a long month of doing a lot of fucking push-ups. I've done thousands of push-ups this month. I'm still not done. I got a couple hundred more to do by Tuesday, the 31st. And then I will be satisfied with the amount of push-ups I was able to achieve this month and this year compared to last year. 100% last year at May. No, not last year. 2 years ago. I guess, yeah. 2 years ago stuff. Started heavily getting into just doing high reps amount of push-ups, and I've done 4,350. I gotta add that 50 I just did before the show, and I'm gonna do another 950 before the first. So I'll be at 5,000. Which is not too bad, I would have to say so. I'm actually pretty happy with that. I actually set out this goal to get 3,000 push-ups by the end of December, and I was kind of posting little amounts of numbers on Facebook and stuff around. But once I reached 4,000 and stuff, once I reached 3,000, I was like, oh man, I was definitely going to be able to knock this out of the park and do a lot more. And I just reached 4,000 a couple days ago, and yesterday, and I feel pretty dang good. I'm a little tired, a little sore and stuff, but all right, this should be good. I am actually pretty proud of myself for pushing beyond my limits. I made a post about, if the mind is strong, the body has no choice but to follow. And that is because, humans are marvelous creatures and stuff. And there's a nice quote, and there's a couple quotes I like, but the one is, when you feel super tired and you feel like quitting and stuff, you're only at like 40%. I like that one. And then Muhammad Ali has his quote of saying, I don't start counting the reps until I'm already hurting. That one is pretty good. So I've been just repping it out. Like I said, I've been talking actually for a while and stuff, and had a couple shows and did a couple push-ups, like 200 push-ups, and really focusing on, like I said, building up my mind, body, and soul to be a better person and better researcher and better everything. I really think some of this stuff is going to reflect is no doubt onto, because when you better yourself as a person and you better your body and you better your mind and your spirit and everything, and everything else comes into place. And it actually has a lot of interesting stuff has this last year or two, actually. A lot of great opportunities and stuff. A lot of stuff behind the scenes, a lot of good stuff. And it feels pretty good and stuff. I actually was pretty okay. I was actually pretty amazed that when you feel like quitting and you feel like, oh fuck, I can't do it anymore. My shoulder's about to bust. I'm about to, I'm about to fall apart if I do another push up. It's amazing how your mind is telling you and trying to give up, and your body is trying to give up for sure. And then you just get down and you start says fuck it, just gonna keep going, and your body literally just shuts up and it's like, okay, we're just gonna keep going. We have no choice. So bothering and being annoying and stuff isn't working, and you can push a lot. You can push a lot harder than when you think you're done quitting. All right, so that is ready to go. Let's take a look at this. So my plan is to get over 5,000, to hit 5,000, to get at least 5,100 by the 31st. And then my goal for next December is to at least get I want to go for 10. I want to at least get 7. Maybe 10,000 would be a goal for next 2 years and stuff. So that is actually what I'm going to be trying to do. And I figured, I just got to do 300 push-ups. It's like 300 push-ups every day or 600 push-ups every other day. And then I got to add a couple hundred here and there. Pretty much is what I got down. Yeah. So I haven't figured out doing 300 or 300 push-ups every single day for 30 days. And then you got to add a couple. I think you got to add like another 1,000 in there or something like that to get 10,000. Or you can do 600 push-ups every other day, so you have a day of rest, and then you have to do that for 15 days of 600 push-ups or 15 days every other day, and then you have to add 1,000 reps of push-ups in there somehow to get 10,000. So I feel like I could probably do one of those by next year. All right, we're gonna show this video and stuff. It took a lot longer than I was hoping, but it's all right. It's gonna take a little bit longer because I have to do it this way. All right. So yeah, and I'm always expressing it. Everyone needs to do a little push-ups or a little exercise, a little something. You can do always a little something, no matter what your physicality is or how old you are. You can do something to get a little workout in to make yourself feel better, and your body definitely will feel better and function a lot better, because in this American society, we got all this crap food. I mean, these red chemicals, yellow chemicals, blue chemicals, these dyes, all these genetically modified organisms. We truly live in a science fiction, sci-fi era of food consumption and what's considered food or what's passing as food, and a lot of sugar. There's like so much fucking sugar in all the diets and all the food and all the drinks that it's actually insane, the amount of sugar that we get. All right, so let's take a look at this video, but let's take a listen to this video, because that's what's really what we're going to concentrate on, is listening to some of the vocalizations that wigs this guy out.
He was right there.
All right, so let's take a look and listen at that again for you guys to hear, because well, for me, it just something just sparked instantly when I heard it. You know, sometimes when you hear it over the phone and you you clip it, you make it, when you hear it on the computer, you hear these headphones and stuff like that, you definitely hear things a lot better and differently. So I'm going to take a listen to that again, and because I just have a brand new idea of what it potentially could be. And it so what do you guys think? Let's take a listen.
Fucking hell. He was right there.
Yeah, I think that I figured out what I think. I'm going to lean towards my answer that I just hearing it on these headphones. So when I first got this clip and stuff, I was listening to it on my phone, and I thought it sounded interesting enough to show you guys to take a listen to, but I wasn't quite sure exactly what was going on, or I figured I'd dive into it a little bit more. I didn't get the chance, obviously, but now that I'm listening to it for the first time on these headphones, I think I know what's actually going on and what the sound is and what's causing it, actually. I'm pretty sure, I might have to take a listen again, and I could be completely wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure that this guy is doing that voice and sound himself, and he's doing it through his throat. He's kind of doing something like that. That's what it sounds like to me, because the sounds at the end still sounds like it's right up next to the phone and stuff. But we'll take a listen to it one more time and stuff. But that's what I'm leaning on and stuff, because that's what it sounded like through these headphones, and I can just imagine that voice and stuff. I mean, I just demonstrated to it. It's pretty easy, that throat voice. You're just speaking into your throat without actually coming out your mouth. And I think that's what's going on, actually. And I'm just gonna say that. Let's take a listen one more time and figure it out. And the only one is like right there. Like you have a little bit of that and then he's like, shit, fucking hell. Like that, maybe because it seems like maybe there's some overlap right there. So maybe he wasn't doing, but to me, it kind of sounds I mean, yeah. He starts running away, and then he kind of slows down at the end and then shuts his camera off. I'm pretty sure that dude's just doing it himself, or even if he wasn't doing it, he's not that scared. He just fucking runs away and he shuts the camera off. So when I first heard this, I actually thought there was like a basset hound around there or something. And then when I heard the second sound and stuff on my phone, I was like, oh, it doesn't sound like a dog or anything. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Just him doing this throat voice next to his phone as he's recording. And he's running away and probably playing a drama. I think that's what it is, honestly. All right, I'm gonna throw the link in the chat. I think it's probably been a little too long, but we'll throw the link into the chat. If you do come on, you're a new person who's never been on the show, things like that. Behave yourself. Common sense, obviously. Don't do anything to get yourself kicked off or in trouble or in legal issues with any of the streaming platforms that I am streaming to, because that is going to be your own damn issue. It ain't certainly going to be mine. So fair warning and stuff to any trolls or knuckleheads that want to do something mental. So the link to come on has been posted. That should be displayed in all the different stuff that I'm streaming to. So take a gander, take a look. If you want to come on, talk about Bigfoot, talk about potentially your encounters, you got stuff to show. If you're on your computer and stuff, you can share. And we can take a look at stuff, send links, of course, that way. We can take a look at anything you might have. One of the other Bigfoot researchers that I kind of used to follow a couple years ago and stuff was hiker N.E. Dave. Hiker New England Dave. And I have not seen a video of that dude in like forever. So I'm actually going to look him up right now, because Hiker Dave NE. Yeah, that's what it was. What's he been up to, I wonder? Oh, it's been a year. It's been a year, yeah. Wow. Don't think I've seen his last couple videos. So what I started following him back in a couple of years ago, because he just was guy out there going in the woods and recording stuff and in a particular area, and has found there was one video of the What Did I Catch video from like 3 years ago of there was something interesting. I mean, it's in the background, but some of the stuff I would say I didn't agree with, like the gifting and stuff. I thought that could be with other animals, and but he was a Hiker Dave was a pretty cool kind of guy. I mean, he seemed pretty a little bit level-headed at the same time, very open-minded, and was going out there and filming it, which I always thought was really good. Probably be a reason why I haven't seen anything. Well, hopefully he produces some more stuff. I mean, it'd be kind of sad to see some of these people like him and Barbara kind of drop out and not making content or being in the community and stuff anymore. I'm sure there's probably a lot of A lot of people that haven't made some videos in a long time that I'm not thinking about because, you know, they haven't been popping up and, you know, let's see if someone's on. Yeah, sometimes that happens, you know, it depends on what you're doing and stuff. I know a lot of people in this community with making Bigfoot content or having you know, if you don't have integrity, you can have a fucking Bigfoot in every picture. You can have a Bigfoot encounter every weekend. But eventually that runs out. The lies get old. The fabrication and made up stories just become another story or just grows exponentially in the level of craziness that has to happen to stay relevant, right? And then or you can't maintain it. You can't maintain all the stories without evidence, right? You know, all this stuff that's been happening and you got no evidence, you know. Oh yeah, Bigfoot just walked in and gifted me this fucking fruit, plant, berries, I don't fucking know, rocks. You know, it took the marble and gave me rocks. I don't fucking know. And it was, you know, it had just rained that night too. But there's no tracks in the fresh, wet grass. Especially, you know, in Michigan right now, all the snow's melted and we had a pretty warm 50 something degree weather day. A lot of that grass is going to be mushy and wet. Enough weight to deposit it should cause a little bit of disturb. Should cause a track to be in the grass and it should stay there for at least a day or two. I mean, before it gets washed away or disintegrates from erosion from just the normal weather. I think there's a lot of people that have that we look at and stuff who are making extraordinary claims who are getting the limelight. I've noticed that the Squatch Watchers got some recent shout out from the Untold Radio, that the Bigfoot News show and stuff. And, you know, these guys are the Squatch Watchers are very getting very famous on YouTube, very famous for their shorts, very famous for their knowledge of Bigfoot. On this show, we've shown that the Sasquatchers will pick up a rock, will fucking chuck that rock, watch that rock on a fucking camera because they're filming themselves. He picks up a rock, he chucks that rock up this hill. He films that rock, hit some trees, and rolled down the fucking hill. And what did they say? It was a fucking Bigfoot that did it. And then these guys are able to go on to the, you know, different talk shows and different stuff because they act really fucking good. Like, oh my God, there was a Bigfoot. Oh my gosh. You know, they hear coyotes and they freak out. Bigfoot's telling them to get out of the territory. An owl calls. A barred owl hoots. The famous hoo 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 hoo. And these guys are flipping out like fucking Bigfoot's running out at them. And then they title their show to match their expression that they're having on camera. I mean, if you can't identify normal everyday wildlife like coyotes, owls, whippoorwills, crickets at nighttime, I cannot believe, other than, you know, well, they're getting a lot of views and stuff. So if they're on my show, we'll get a lot of views. There's no other explanation to have those dudes on any fucking show or anything when they picked up a fucking rock, threw it up a fucking mountain, filmed it and said it was on Bigfoot, and then they put it in a fucking short and put it on the fucking YouTube video. Like, you know, I don't know if you're so fucking dumb they didn't understand that that's what they did. They filmed themselves hoaxing, or they just, you know, are too eager to put everything out and they don't care. But we've exposed that. It doesn't get anywhere because we're just a little channel and stuff. But at the same time, those who know definitely know. Integrity matters on this channel. Yeah, the problem with gifting is animals like gifts. Animals like food. Animals will take food. Oh, you leave a little shiny marble out there, shiny object? Well, a raccoon will take that because it's shiny. A crow will definitely fucking take that because it's shiny. Other birds will take it because it's shiny. But definitely crows are the number one animal, I would say, that are going to steal marbles, something, a coin, something shiny, even odd objects. And we see this with people who've trained crows and or who have gifting crows and stuff. They do crows, if you gift crows and stuff for a while, they start bringing you stuff, and it's usually shiny objects and like rings and coins or metals and stuff. And so if you're out there gifting and you're living food out there and you're leaving marbles and then it gets taken away and stuff, and you don't have film, you don't have a game camera, I mean, could be a raccoon that comes out every single night. Could be the crows that were flying around spotting that little shiny object right there. And other rodents like a raccoon, like squirrels. And yeah, that's kind of really about it that I would think that would take it, really. Maybe a squirrel would knock it around a little bit and might take something to the nest. But raccoons 100% take stuff, and crows are notorious. So, unless you're actually, and that's not gifting. If you're expecting to, I'm not sure what gifting you get, but if you're trying to you're getting stuff in return, that's trading. That's not gifting. And if you're expecting to, and another thing about gifting is, if you stop gifting, they get angry, right? Well, that's not gifting either. That is like paying tribute. And now that you're not paying tribute, I'm going to cause fucking hell. If it was gifting, if you stop giving the free gifts, that's the end of it. There's no retaliation for the free gifts that you're freely giving to the Sasquatch, right? At that point, it's not gifting. That is definitely something else. That is expected and paid tribute to the Sasquatch. That ain't gifts freely given. That it might be giving to you, it gifts to you, but obviously at that point, it ain't fucking. It's something that's clearly demanded and expected. So it puts a very dangerous situation that I don't like to be in. I don't want to be next to a Sasquatch when Sasquatch is thinking about food or not having the food that it expected to fucking have. That's not a good place to be in when it comes to being next to these creatures and stuff, because they are wild creatures. They do live in the wild. They live in different society norms than what humans do. So what is normal for us and what is normal for a Sasquatch is astronomically probably not normal for us. So there's all these rules, regulations, and red lines in the sand where if you fucking step over that red line as a normal human doing your everyday normal things in your own backyard, you have no idea you just cross this red line with this Sasquatch that it's pissed off or it's angry and it's going to cause some kind of a commotion, or potentially maybe you just go missing. There's a lot of missing 411 people. I know a lot of people, some people don't disagree with all that. Some people think it's bullshit, but it doesn't matter if you think David Paulides is full of shit. There is, a matter of fact, a lot of missing people in North America. Period. Point blank. Abnormally amount of missing people in America.
And I don't think there's any significant singular cause that you could point to every single one that it's Bigfoot. I think some definitely fit into that category of a Bigfoot. Probably, we would attribute a Bigfoot got him, or some other unknown entity in the woods is getting these people. But there's a lot of urban stuff. There's a lot of urban missing people in these 411 cases that are found in abnormal places or retention ponds in the middle of cities that are searched with divers, searched thoroughly, and there's no body found. And then a couple days later or whatever, the body's found in that same retaining pond that the dive team, who are trained to do this and have found bodies and do this, went through, and there was no body there. And they're pretty damn positive, like, no, there's no body there. Some of these bodies getting found right where searchers definitely have been. That makes no logical sense. That is definitely not something that is easily explained with like serial killers or normal humans taking people and doing sort of things. But, it's weird. A lot of this alien talk in the U.S. government with these UFOs and UAPs, and some of these, crafted orbs and entities that don't seem to be human and might not even have biological functions like us. When they're talking about non-biological intelligent entities that are here on Earth, and that comes out in Congress, I mean, that's a weird terminology. It's like non-biological intelligent entity. So like ghosts is what you're saying. Demons, I guess, more like it. Poltergeists, or a robot, right? And a super android, that's not fully biological anymore. All synthetic, robotic, intelligent entity that's not biological. I mean, when I heard that, I was like, what the heck? Well, yeah, if they're coming from different dimensions and stuff, you could have a whole host of different makeup and stuff. A lot of people think, we put the human factor on all the aliens, they have 2 hands and 2 legs and feet and head, and even the little gray aliens, they look like little gray men. They don't look like octopus dudes. Anything like that. A lot of stuff like that. So, hey, Jesse, how's it going? Yeah, the government is definitely not telling us every single thing, because a lot of people are just plain out fucking stupid and would freak the fuck out or just do stupid stuff, or and there's probably a damn good reason. They can't control everyone who's freaking the fuck out over something that, I mean, let's face it, if Bigfoot was alien, or all these aliens are coming down and abducting people, for the most part, it's very low percentage of numbers compared to the whole population. So, comparatively, it's not like Independence Day where they showed up on the lawn of the Capitol and are blowing everything up and causing destruction. So, if there is some crazy stuff like that going on, it probably would be best to keep it under wraps, not to freak everyone out, especially if they can't stop it. It's like, well, there's going to be missing people going missing. Let's just theoretically say this. And it's like, well, the government can't stop it. We know we can't stop it. It's like, we got to keep it under wraps and hope for the best to try to learn from it. I mean, there's a lot of explanations of, there's a lot of theories, I should say, of what potentially could be going on with all this abductions, or missing 401 people, or missing aircraft. I mean, or missing boats. I mean, it's not just people. I mean, there's missing vehicles. There's missing aircraft. Very famous 1950s aircraft go missing over Lake Superior, chasing after a UFO. Very famous story. Very similar to the same kind of story of the Very similar style of aircraft that went, I think it was a little earlier though, that went missing in the Bermuda Triangle. A little squad of aircraft went missing in the over the Lake Superior. The same kind of incidents where they actually followed a UFO that was on radar though, that was being tracked by the U.S. Air Force and the Royal Canadian Air Force. And then our boys went after it and went over Lake Superior towards I'm forgetting that island right there. And they disappeared. Completely off radar, off radio, gone. So there's a lot of interesting stuff that I think the Earth has yet to unravel for us. You know, there's a lot of mystery, a lot of life still yet to be discovered, from the oceans all the way into cave systems, karst systems. A lot of stuff I think in North America that still has to be discovered, with potentially karst systems, especially with in Canada, when they found that massive, huge cave system in British Columbia that, they flew over with an aircraft and they discovered it, but they didn't know that thing was ever there. And that thing was massive, absolutely massive. Let's see if I can get a picture of that. Because, they couldn't believe that they found it. Yeah, the mysterious Wells Gray Gary. I'm having Tourette's right now, so please forgive me. The cave's name remained largely untouched by humans since it was discovered by accident in 2018. Despite plans for geologists to re-enter the cave in 2021, the BC Park said the researchers who applied redrew their application. I wonder if there's some new stuff on here. Get some pictures for you guys to look at, though. This is the one, right? Yeah. All right. Let me share the screen now so you guys can take a look at a picture of this cave. I thought there was another picture of it. I guess this is the one. I thought it looked like that. Oh, okay, that's a better one. Gotcha. Let me... Nope, that's it. Let me do this one. All right. So this is the picture of the cave that they found, discovered by accident, of course, in 2018. I believe an aircraft was flying over, and they just happened to look down and find this, and sent researchers in and stuff. But I think I remember right, and I'm trying to. I guess we'll look on this. We'll look on Wikipedia real fast. Discovered in 2018 and is part of a karst cave, keyword karst, topography and stuff, which is karst is a topography formed from the dissolution of soluble carbonate rocks such as limestone. Think about water runs through rocks and creates passages and opens up into caves and bigger cavern systems, or potentially just really tiny inches to foot long wide waterways through rocks and mountains and stuff. But there is potential of huge amounts of cave systems and caves like this one that is made from water draining in through thousands and millions of years and stuff. But what is interesting and stuff is that the amount of water and cave systems that is underneath of this that is still very much unexplored. It's very much intriguing and stuff, because what I am not yet seeing is a lot of people have been into it. So what they're saying is, for most of the years from aerial photographs that were taken from 1949 to 2018, most of the, if not all of it, was covered by snow. The shaft was covered by snow year round. So that was probably most likely why they never found this. Thank you, climate change. Climate change for the wind of discovering karst and topography cave systems previously undiscovered. But it's very interesting is because of the amount of potential that this cave has. All right, in September of 2018, geologist and archaeological surveyor returned to the site. Wait, let me. In spring of 2018, the Canadian government team was surveying caribou populations by helicopter when the pilot spotted a deep snow-filled depression at the cave entrance. Yep. The team named the cave Sarlacc's Pit, from the creature from the Return of the Jedi movie. The name, however, remains unofficial until the naming consultation can be held with First Nations in the area. I wonder if they actually did. All right, so in 2018, they went back to survey it and made a partial descent into the cave once it was snow-free, estimating it to be at least 2 kilometers or 1.2 miles long. Estimating, because they didn't go down in there to go check all the way either. So, we're just going to guess. Yeah, it's that much. At least. The ground reconnaissance expedition estimated the physical dimensions of the cave. They plan to go back in 2020. I wonder, I'm pretty sure there's probably more stuff. Some media reports have claimed that this is the largest known stripe karst cave. A potentially deeper stripe karst cave is the Cascade Tupper system at 483 meters. And a potentially longer one is the White Rabbit karst stripe system. Preliminary estimates suggest that this cave might also have the largest cave entrance in Canada. It's about 330 feet long by 200 foot wide. And its entrance is 443 feet deep. A river flows into the entrance, becoming a waterfall, sending up mist that has preventing measuring the exact depth of the cave. Well, I wonder why. And because water going through the cave like that, rushing, is definitely creating holes and channels and stuff. So definitely there are some passages in there and side passages, probably a lot of like a Swiss cheese kind of think of a block of Swiss cheese with holes going in different places and shapes around by the falling of the water, eroding channels out. Some of these channels, very small, inches across, feet, just a foot or so across, maybe a foot up, 3 feet wide channel of water going through that a person couldn't get through very much, or actually like how this entrance of the cave was, where it's extending out to a person could actually walk through, or you get swept up into these underground rivers and stuff. You get pushed into a channel where you're going down some hole and you're never going to get back up, and most likely drown very quickly before you ever reach anything like an air pocket or anything like that. I would note that there's potentially of air pockets and stuff in some of this stuff, just because of the air and stuff, the water rushing through as it is tumbling and turns into that mist, and it gets swept and pushed around. Oxygen gets released out of that water into the air a little bit, maybe making the cave a little bit more breathable. But once you get down to a certain part into caves that have no water systems or nothing like that, they become very dusty and dry, and become actually lack oxidization, or are filled with deadly gases that can make you pass out instantly, vomit, disoriented within like that. You take one good huff of air and all of a sudden you're disoriented, you're going in and out of consciousness, and you're passing out, and basically you die, because especially if you're by yourself or even with a team, you don't got any gizmos and gadgets to actually detect what kind of gases are in there, or if there's any absence and stuff. You're a bad situation. All right. So I thought that was kind of interesting, because that is a little bit of kind of like what car systems are about, is stuff like that. So the cave is normally snow covered for much of the year and sits at the bottom of a massive avalanche slope. Early fall may be the only practical season to explore the cave, because this is when the waterfall that fills the entrance experiences its lowest flow. In spring, the meltwater, obviously from the flow, reaches 5 to 15 cubic meters per second at the entrance. The cave may have been snow covered year round till the 20th century, blah, blah, blah. This would suggest that it may not even have been explored by First Nations people, and the technical gear required, combined with the depth of the entrance and the shaft, means that passing mountaineers in the last few decades are also unlikely to have explored it. So what that means, what I hear when I hear it's at the very bottom of an avalanche flow, and all the water flows from down the mountain into this cave that has a massive river year round, it sounds like, pumping into that ground, soluble ground rock that the water penetrates and makes a karst topography. That means huge cave systems and stuff. I mean, you're talking about thousands of feet potentially down under the ground, underwater, of course, but fresh water is getting pumped into there under the earth and going down deep in there, and it does carry life in its water. There's bacteria, there's organisms and stuff. There is the potential, there's the life making ingredients in water that's going down into those fucking caves. And I kind of always think and imagine, like, there is bacteria and stuff that grow in other organisms that grow in the absence of light, like what they're finding in caves in I think it's Southeast Asia and Asia and stuff, where they have a variety of different animals that are normally found that have lost their eyesight and stuff, who are just living in caves and stuff, or they have found in the total absence of light, life still grows with bacteria and I think moss or mold. And the one key thing that is usually always found in some of that stuff is water. There's fresh water that gets down into that area of the cave. So, pretty sure that, we can't go down there. We don't have robots that are able to function with signal at that depths. Once you get past a couple layers and you're weaving and turning around through rocks and caves, you're not losing. You're losing signal to your robot pretty quickly. So I don't think that's number one reason why we can't actually look at these things. And we did a show a couple months ago about this past summer of the devil's well, or no, it's the devil's cave. What is it? Let me look it up real quick. Devil's hole. That's what it is. We're going to look at that diagram real quick. Because there is some interesting, let's see, which one is it? Open this up. Yeah. Let's look at this one. I'm sorry, I couldn't see it. All the letters are blind and. All right. I gotta learn how to click these buttons back up and then edit. All right, so you guys can see that now, right? Let's look at this. This is a representation. Okay, so this is the Devil's Hole that is in the Czech Republic. This isn't the right one that we want, although it is pretty deep. So this is kind of like a representation of what a car system could potentially look like, where you have a cave entrance, the water goes down and starts pushing through and having these small channels and stuff. There's other. Let me get this old one, because this is the old diagram that they used to have back in the day of explaining what Devil's Hole was. So here you have at the very top, you have where people and Indians, Native Americans, and early pioneers actually discovered Devil's Hole, a little life-saving fresh water in the middle of the Nevada desert. You would come in, you would dive, and you could swim in this nice pristine water that has these little pup fish, these little devil pup fish, these extremely endangered wildlife pup fish that are found nowhere else in the entire world besides this little tiny hole. And there's other subspecies of pup fish that are found elsewhere in the world, but this particular one is only found here. So it's off limits to the public. If you go and jump the fence and you get in there, you will get a lifetime ban from probably all national parks and a huge hefty fine and or definitely a prison sentence. So you don't want to trespass into this place because they take it very seriously. All right, so there's actually Devil's Hole has a number of diving accidents. As you can see, you can dive in and jump into hundreds of feet of karst topography, really. And that's what we see with these different channels and air pockets up here are all carved out through the constant water coming from the desert floor and going right down to this hole. And there's another, they actually have a sister hole, and it's not as deep as this one, but I can't remember what that hole's called, but it's actually practically right next door in terms of distance. And it goes pretty far deep, but it's not as deep as this one. So there's been a lot of accidents, and people have gone down to, I can't remember what this chamber is called. I think it's like the Grand Ballroom or something like that. And a lot of people have got disoriented, and there's been people who've, you can swim up and get into these different chambers, and they start, basically you start getting narked, nitrogen narcosis, or what the fuck it's called. You get bumped with a lot of nitrogen that is basically running through your blood and stuff, and it causes you to basically have symptoms of being severely drunk, like instantly. So a lot of people get disoriented, and it happens a lot with deep underwater dives, like over 100 foot deep, using deep water tanks and the extra stuff that they got to put into it. So anyways, a lot of divers and stuff have gone and got nitrogen narcosis, or narked or something. I think they just call it narked, and you become confused. And there's been people who've dove deeper into the water, and other people have been found and bumping their heads and been caught up in some of these false entrances, is what they'll call. So you go up, you're all confused, and you start going up and up, and the entrance, you got to keep going up, and you keep going up and up into the wrong passage, and then bam, you bump in your head, and bam, you're disoriented and you're stuck, and now you're running out of air. You're running out of the air in your tank, and you basically, a lot of people have been died and drowned in a lot of different cave systems from being a number of different factors. But when it comes to cave diving, it is extremely dangerous. So anyways, a lot of people have went down here and have gone into this room, and where two disappeared. So the sketch is a water-filled fissure and chambers of Devil's Hole was drawn as a diagram made for Devil's Hole Scientific Foundation. This hole. So what happened was missing divers went missing in this hole. They didn't resurface. They obviously they died. That they were pretty much dead, or they possibly were up in this air pocket. And if they were up into the air pocket, they were going to go dive in there and rescue them. And there's a famous diver who pretty much has rescued or recovered bot of this hole in the early 1960s and stuff. And I want to say 70s. Pretty much anyone who's died and stuff, or rescue attempts, he's the guy who gets called. So he went down in there to find these two missing people. I think the one missing person was found. He went down all the way into this chamber, the very bottom of the chamber that has been explored, and people have been dove in there and stuff. Him and his partner. So when they ventured and stuff, they ventured all the way to this corner, and when they found is about a 4 foot wide hole. And when they got up to the hole, they felt the water pressure sucking into this hole. And they let down a line of weighted rope, and they threw the line all the way down as far as that line would go. And it was 940 something feet. And they never hit bottom. And they obviously realized very quickly that there is a no-go zone. We're not going into there. The amount of pressure, there's no way we would be able to get back up. So he goes, and that's pretty much, they figured out that's what happened. This guy got severely narked, disoriented, and if he was still alive, made his way down to this final chamber and potentially wandered into the hole and sucked down and was gone into the abyss, and or died in this chamber and floated his body was over there enough where he got sucked into it. But what they figured out was that there's a huge underground lake or river system that is massive. And they did another research expedition where they measured the hole again, and it was, they basically went down an additional 400 feet, I believe it was, from that 900 something feet more, and they still haven't figured out and reached the bottom yet. And yeah, it is one of those that very interestingly, they had a earthquake happen 2,000 something miles away in Mexico, that as it rumbled and stuff, it caused a tsunami in this devil's hole from the water, from the bottom of the hole, from this fissure that goes down. It pushed back up and caused a tsunami to erupt at the very top where all the pupfish were. Luckily, they were still safe and are still critically endangered, but are still alive. But they are theorized this hole goes extremely down, deep, deep, deep. But not only down, but it connects into probably an underground aqueduct or waterway system that spreads all underneath the desert and stuff. And I believe the Native Americans of this region, I can't remember what tribe, but they have a legend of shamans traveling underground in their in underground waterways and stuff. And I'm gonna have to look and find that clip and find out where that information is for you. But I do remember that. And that's what karst system is. You'll have especially this area of especially heavy drainage where it's creating these holes, and for thousands of years digs down, and you have a massive aqueduct, a waterway, where this in that environment, humans are not able to explore. Even robots can't go down there. Several factors come into play. I think the deepest humans have gone is like 900 feet, and had very extreme fucking stuff that was happening. I think the dude's like about died. The guy who set the record about died, and it's horrible, horrible shit that fucking happened. Yeah. So when you're looking at karst systems or that Canadian cave and stuff, and you have it, all these channels, especially you have a river that's plunging down into the fucking cave, and it's creating this kind of environment and stuff. So where you have different seasons and different water levels, you might have caves where most of the water is flooded the entire way. There might be a single season or two where the water levels are down enough there you could actually go under and travel a couple passageways without being flooded. Or what's very dangerous in caves is when the water starts rushing into the cave and you're in a spot where it was dry 5 minutes ago and now it's coming up to your knees within 5-10 minutes, and now it's coming up to your waist, and now it's keeps on coming. That is one of the most dangerous things when it comes into caves, especially in these more like South American or Southeast Asia countries where water can come instantly out of nowhere. There actually are several deaths reported. You can look at them and read them or watch videos, I'm sure of them, of accidents of people getting where the water's flooding in, rushing in. The amount of speed that it comes out of nowhere is astronomical. And there's been reports of rain that's happened a couple of days ago that all of a sudden there's a massive amount of rain that comes out of some type of channel in the cave that starts flooding that particular cave, and there was no rain for, I think it was like a week, if that report was accurate. I think a pretty good show that I haven't watched, I haven't looked at in a while is I don't know if they're still doing it, was Dive Talk with two dudes. They did a lot of commentary. What got me interested was commentary on diving accidents and deaths with like caves and stuff like that. So they go over like safety issues and what went wrong and how to go about it, and some of the stuff that you end up kind of like seeing a little bit of their stuff when you look at car systems and cave diving and cave exploration and stuff. I can't remember. There's this one guy on YouTube. He fucking squeezes through the most like tightest of stuff. Like it's like I know my fat ass would get stuck. Like I would get stuck. I would just get. I'm too big and bulky. I can't squeeze into a small hole like that. But you can see that it's crazy environment in there, and definitely Sasquatch. If there are in these cave systems and stuff, there's no light, so I'm not sure how they would exactly see, but the ideas of hollow earth and stuff like that, of this underground ecosystem. I like to think of this underground ecosystem of prehistoric proportions of potentially underground life forms that are still deep within the recesses, that have relied and grown without the use of sunlight or the need to see, relying on other senses like hearing or the vibrational touch and stuff. Those kind of environments with karst topography, I mean, hasn't really changed overall in millions of years, other than collapsing of cavern systems and caves. Exit that out. So if there was some prehistoric millions of years ago dinosaur times living type of creature that was an underground species of fucking tremors or something like that, some type of thing, you watch all these old 1950s movies or something, or they're going into these caves in India, or they're in the Himalayas, and they go underground and there's these bug creatures basically, or something like that, where they're underground living like they've lived for millions of years. I think there's potential of some of that stuff deep in the earth. I think the earth is a lot of stuff that has yet to be discovered. And I really feel like under the earth, in these karst topography systems with fresh water, oxygenated water, with microbes and bacteria and life is dumped into these fucking caves. I mean, I think something can grow from it, right? Some type of life form. And as we're discovering it in other places and extreme environments and stuff, it leads to lend a little bit of credibility that life can survive on other extreme planets that maybe we think not necessarily could survive. But as we're discovering in Earth, and I mean, even in Chernobyl, I mean, there's fucking bacteria that is eating nuclear radiation waste from the actual core itself. There is this mold, this bacteria. I think it's a mold, or well, it's one of the two, that it's living in the reactor site, and it's actually eating. And I believe what they said, it's actually eating the radiation and absorbing it out of it. Basically, it's absorbing the radiation and potentially cleansing the environment naturally. And that's some hardcore fucking life form right there. So I'm always eager and amazed at what stuff can just sprout out from life itself and out of the most craziest struggle imaginable. How's it going, Bat Mom? Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Mike, from Abnormal Investigations. Hope you're doing good. Hopefully the family's doing good. Some nice trick shot the boy got. Nice shooting and stuff. We got a way to I think this summer is my boy should be old enough to shoot the 22 and get a little bit of that learning curve going and stuff. Yeah, caves are pretty extreme environments, especially if you're not prepared. That is like almost a death sentence. Honestly, if you go in with the battery with a flashlight that you pull out of your glove box, who knows if the batteries are charged or not. You are asking for a bad awakening because you'll never find your way out. Basically, you get, especially if you go into these deep caves. And I've been into a Carlsbad Cavern in New Mexico when I was littler. Me and my dad took a trip across country all the way to New Mexico, and we went down there and sat as the bats flew by you, whizzing by your face. And some of these ladies screaming, whizzing by you. You just gotta sit still. But you go down into the cave, and they have a nice walkway, and you see all the stalactites and stalagmites, and very beautiful, well-lit areas, beautiful cave, beautiful systems and stuff. But I remember that if we would have came earlier and stuff that day, because it was at nighttime, because we've seen the bats fly out during right before sundown, and then we went into the cave, and then they have like a shopping center and stuff in there. You round back out, but I remember that there was side passages that you could go on. You could take tours and pay a little extra and go. And you would have to crawl and squeeze. And there was different spots where you could go, and more technical challenging ones, like easy going one, like we just went down, or intermediate. And I think there was more like expert level of stuff you had to crawl through. And I thought it was very interesting and stuff. Because just how beautiful but dangerous it would be in the complete dark. You falling on stuff, you fall on a ledge off a cliff into a hundreds of feet onto something, or falling on, breaking and hurting, and no, not a good thing. If I found a cave, I wouldn't go in there by myself. You definitely need to go tell people. You should always tell people if you're going to go into a fucking cave, you should probably tell someone. But you got to be prepared. And there's so many extra batteries you need for flashlights and water and food. And there's a cave in, it's the deepest cave in the world that humans have accessed. And it's a cave in Europe. And it takes so long to get down there. Like, there's whole like base camps where you fucking have to you reach a certain point, and like, here's a base camp, you can chill out for a couple of days, but you got to keep going down. And I think it takes like 7 days, or at least this one guy, it took 7 days to get all the way out to the bottom where he was at, I guess. I remember there was another guy who learned about this cave and planned to go cave diving by himself. And he didn't tell anyone. He didn't tell enough people enough details of exactly where he was at in case something went wrong. So this guy went down. He went down. He kept going down and down and down and down. And I can't remember if he hung out down there for a couple days or something, but he tried going back up. He tried going back up, and he didn't have he had the gear to get back up, but he didn't have the proper gear to get back up easily. So what his problem was, he ran out of energy. He physically couldn't get back up. He didn't have a mechanical advantage of some of these gear that you can buy to strap on your legs to help kick and push you up, and use some mechanical leverage to help climb up the rope. He was doing a little bit more manual labor stuff of climbing back up, and he couldn't make it. He actually died. he physically couldn't make it back up and perished. And I'm pretty sure that no one they discovered his body, I think, when a team of researchers went down there. But I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, I got to read up on it, that he didn't tell enough people where he was at, and they didn't figure out where he was at until it was long. I think it was like a couple weeks or a couple months or something before someone went down there that far to discover his body. What are we at? We're at 2 hours and stuff now. Think we're gonna be shutting it down. No one wanted to come on and talk and be my friend, and yeah, that's okay and stuff. But we're gonna be doing another little show. We're doing another show on New Year's on a Tuesday night. Unless someone else is doing some big crazy old thing, I might jump on that show too. But we'll probably do another show on New Year's, which anyone can come on. We'll probably be showcasing a lot of evidence from the Lost Cryptids Conservatory's vault of evidence. We got a couple of stuff to show. We'll show some stuff from Florida. We got some. I got some stuff I guess I could show from like up north, and some stuff that it's a couple years old and stuff, but we got some clips on that I guess I could pull up, but mainly going to focus on evidence and stuff, some of the stuff we've seen, encountered, stuff with Jason Kenzie, me and James, early days with me and James, some of the tree knockings and stuff, and some of the stuff that I've captured as evidence that we're going to re-showcase and stuff. Maybe you guys haven't seen it. Maybe you guys don't know. Got a lot of wood knocks, tree knocks. I was thinking about doing that tonight, but we kind of started talking and blabbering away and jumping from different topics. And I started, talking about my push-ups and all that. So I totally forgot that I got like, a couple hours worth of audio that has tree knocks and crashing sounds and tree knocks in the background and odd sounds. So I got to do a whole show on that, showcasing that. So, about over 100 hours of nighttime audio that I've gone through and looked at, and have captured some good stuff, some interesting stuff. Nothing major that's going to be like, that was Bigfoot. But some stuff that I could definitely say, like, whatever's making these noises out there, it's definitely not normal. And I would say, what normal animal is able to pick up an object and strike a tree to make that sound? I mean, it doesn't make sense, There's a lot of things like that. I got some footage of some my recent outings that I guess I could show you guys too, or I was gonna make a little video of it, but I keep getting busy and I don't ever sit down and edit things up, because I got there's a process and stuff. You gotta watch everything, I gotta edit maybe some swear words or some stuff I don't want to be seen out. Then you gotta do everything, and it becomes a pain, especially when there's other stuff to work out, especially with audio and stuff. That was kind of a gnarly race to get that all done. 100 hours worth to work through. That was kind of gnarly. And I still need to really physically listen to 100 hours worth, because there's stuff on there that you could potentially miss on the spectrogram. We're looking on the spectrogram graph that will show us details of audio outputs and stuff, signatures that we're looking for. And you can find practically mostly 90% of stuff, 95% of everything that's going to be good. you can find it on the spectrogram, but there's always that 5% that I've found that it's like, I know I'm hearing it. I know it's in the background. So it's like, it's not like in your face, holy shit, but I definitely hearing it in the background. It's sounding squatchy like tree knocks and stuff. And you know, it's frustrating at the same time. Yeah, I forgot. I gotta. Oh, fuck. All right, that's fine. We'll ignore that. We'll ignore that little detail in a second. Looking at my. Anyways, the audio. Yeah, we're gonna look at that. Sorry about that little brain fart there. I got a little distracted with the Gmail, but yeah. So we're gonna get a lot of audio, some interesting stuff. I had something else in my mind. I just totally, as soon as I seen that, I went blank. That's all right though. That's all right. Anyways, I think that's gonna be about it. No one showed up in the with the link and stuff, which is okay. We're going to shut this show down. Hopefully everyone who showed up here is having a great night, has a great night, enjoys the rest of their Saturday night, Sunday, early Sunday morning. Yeah, Mammoth Cave is another one that huge cave system, cavern system, and they just, I mean, a couple years ago, but it's fairly recent. They discovered a couple hundred more miles worth of cave tunnels down there that it was previously unexplored, and I believe there's still potential of even more miles of cave systems down there that it hasn't been fully mapped out. And I do believe there's a couple caves around there. I want to say it's Sister Cave. I can't remember what it's called. Has not as much miles of tunnels, but also has some chances of significantly unexplored passages that they haven't got down there yet because it's kind of hard. There's a lot of logistical issues that come into play when going down a deep pitch black tunnel that humans really haven't explored, aren't really made to go down there. And, you know, you have a lot of psychological issues that come up when you're going down into a deep fucking cave, and you're squeezing in through tight corridors, claustrophobic tendencies and fears set in, even if, you never had that sort of stuff happen. So Cave of the Mounds. Sounds like a pretty interesting cave with some potential history behind it. I'm not familiar with that one. I think all caves are kind of cool, even if they're, small or whatever. It's pretty interesting geological feature that, humans have always had a fascination with. And, a lot of cultures believed that caves were the entrance to the underworld and stuff like that, or the abyss. And I think it's obviously it's very inspiring and brings a lot to the imagination of monsters or evil creatures or things that live into the cave. This dark, evil place that goes into the earth, and it's cold, and it's can be wet, or it can be dry and heavy breathing or toxic and stuff. Brings a lot to the imagination of why caves are the way they are, and what could live in there, and the dragon that lives in the cave, the monster that lives in the cave, the lost treasure that's in the cave guarded by the monster. I find some of that very, very interesting. They speculated, of course, of that the person who died, and because they figured out what happened is because they seen his gear, how it was set up with his ropes coming all the way down. They found his body partially up climbed, And when they did an autopsy and stuff, and I believe that he reached the bottom, so he was at the ground level and made some type of camp there. But they figured out that he died by going back up. He didn't have the proper equipment, mechanical advantage to climb up fast with minimal effort. Instead of, he was struggling to lift up his body weight. I'm sure he had some type of carabiners or climbing devices when you would climb up, it will hold you there and stuff. But you got to fucking lift your body weight up each time you lift, and you're talking thousands of feet up, and he died. So I will let me look at it right now. Okay, so this article says that you want to butcher the fuck out of that name. The very rock kid. No, yeah, blah blah. Anyways, this very European sounding name cave. Let me. This headline says that he continued his descent down to a technically challenging part at about 3,600 feet, where he got stuck and died of hypothermia. He did not bring any stirrups necessary to climb out of the lower, perpetually wet cave regions. That was one article. Let me see what this one is. I thought he reached the bottom though, and then he was climbing back up. Climber who fell. So yeah, see, so this is already, we're finding some different discrepancies on these articles. So this one says climber who fell to his death halfway down world's deepest cave, which is 1.3 miles deep. This was reclaimed by a team of. It took 100 climbers to get this fucking body out of this cave. That's how challenging it is. His body was discovered 9 months later. Yeah, I remember it took a while. He was a resident of Russia. He went missing in November of that last year and was discovered on August 3rd. Some Russian cavers noticed a rope and some belongings before finding his body. That one says he fell, and it was in Georgia and over next to Russia. I thought it was over in like the Czech Republic or something. A team of 100 climbers. Skip that. They had first noticed rope at the entrance to the cave, then discovered Kovi's belongings before coming across his body, which was hanging from a rope about 1,100 meters into the 1.3 mile cave. So I guess I was a little wrong on my remembering. I think that's pretty much it. Let's see. Yeah, so I gotta find more recent articles because this one is saying, well, some people saying he died from falling. Other people said he died from being hypothermic, which is, I thought he read that he died from exhaustion, which is, if you die from hypothermia, exhaustion. Yeah. This is on Reddit. The world's deepest cave since 1982 has been researching, going deeper and deeper. In 2001, at a depth of 1,100 meters, they found the body of the tourist. So the guy went in there by himself, didn't tell anyone enough information. Yeah, this one's saying that he died from inadequate squills. He just couldn't get back up. He kept going down and down and down. Probably got to the point where he realized, oh fuck, probably didn't have enough rope, but yeah, got exhausted. Another interesting one is the Nutty Putty Cave with that guy who got stuck down there, John Jones. It's a kind of a horrible way to die in a cave. If you guys haven't heard that story about the Nutty Putty Cave, look up the Nutty Putty Cave accident, and be prepared for a pretty emotional story of a person getting stuck in the cave. Actually, we'll probably I'll get that diagram up. Because this is why this is a great example of why you just don't go head first into a cave. Literally. If you guys have never seen Nutty Putty Cave, the story, I suggest after this live stream is going to get over in about another 5 minutes, YouTube that. All right, so I'm going to share this and then land in this plane like Jeff from Pine Island Research likes to say. Hopefully Jeff is doing pretty good. I haven't seen him on shows or making comments, so hopefully he's staying busy, staying healthy and all that. All right, so this is the diagram of how John Jones was stuck upside down in Nutty Putty Cave. He basically they went into a section of the cave that they thought they could go down or remembered as a kid, and end up going into a totally wrong passage and got stuck. Clearly. Can I zoom in on this? Okay. That's the second one. So yeah, he basically got stuck there for 12 hours and died a very slow, agonizing death with his brother right there, and all the search and rescue that they could get right there, but there was absolutely nothing that they could fucking do to get this guy out. And so what he thought he was diving into the birth canal, which you get down underneath there and there's a big enough spot to rotate your body, and he might have done this, or there's some stories out there where maybe this is, he thought I did it when I was a kid, I could do it again, but he didn't. So this is why you literally don't go. I would not ever crawl this tight into a fucking cave head first. There is absolutely no way my big bulky Hulk body is going to get stuck and go through that. I already know I would get stuck. So this is literally the reason why you don't go head first into any cave system that you don't know, haven't explored, or don't have someone with you that knows it like the back of their fucking hand. Because before they sealed this up, this was open to the public, and a lot of people could go there by themselves and explore and do this. And there is still a lot of cave systems and caves in America where you can go. There's some cave caves that you can dive into with water that you really don't need permits to. You don't sign anything or let anyone know. You just kind of show up and you do your thing. And I think a lot of people get complacent with some of the stuff that they shouldn't. So. All right. I'm going to take a last look at all the comments and stuff. Good to see everyone. Yeah, I don't know if that'd be good or not. It might be a little funny, but good to see you. Good to see you, James and stuff. Hopefully you're having fun. What? I just skipped that. What time on New Year's? We'll probably do another 10 o'clock show, and then we'll just go for like 3 hours, 4 hours. Who the fuck knows? So 10 o'clock on New Year's. Unless you guys got something better to fucking do. Like that. Glad everyone liked the show. Appreciate all the comments and love and all that. Yes, Hawking Hills in Ohio, which a lot of Bigfoot reports are cited in there. Also has a good cave system. Yeah. And that's a big thing too, is a lot of people get into situations where they think, oh yeah, I can handle myself. But if you've been on the couch or you're used to hardly be able to get out of the bed, you can find yourself in a very treacherous situation with water, getting in water and swimming in water and tiring yourself out to the where you are literally, you're dead. You can't swim. You can't even stay above water. A lot of water deaths. And, that's why I'm always preaching. Do some push-ups. Do some exercise to get yourself off that couch, to get your body better prepared. Because if any situation happens, any survival situation, it don't matter what, you need to have your body operating at a higher performance level, ready to handle whatever the situation may be, instead of being a fucking couch potato all year. Then all of a sudden you're pushed into the Super Bowl situation of your fucking life, and now you need to perform at tier 1 level. Like, it ain't gonna happen. So start off slowly. Start doing a couple push-ups. Just start doing one. Start doing a couple a day, whatever you can, slowly. There's always something that you can do to start off easy. It doesn't have to be 1,000,000 pounds away. You don't have to do a 4,000 push-ups or 5,000 push-ups this end of this month, like I'm going to hopefully achieve. You start off by, I want to do 10 by the end of this week, by the end of this month, or whatever, wherever you're at, you got to start somewhere. I certainly didn't start off one day thinking I'm going to do thousands of push-ups in a month. I had to work my way up a little bit and push myself, and I still push myself. So I just implore everyone to get out there, exercise, work out, because in every single situation, in your health, every single thing is benefited from working out and exercising. Your brain, your longevity, your body, your attitude, your mental IQ, your mental health and stuff, all is affected greatly with exercise. And it's one of the only provable things that you can do to instantly change your mental health and emotional health, like without any side effects. Like, exercise does more beneficial stuff for all of that compared to you get on some antipsychotic medicine with a ton of side effects. There's nothing else in the world that beats exercise pound per pound with what it actually does in the totality of everything that benefits from it and the side effects that you get from working out compared to taking all these man-made chemicals. And if you're not able to, and you got to take your medicine, you got to take your medicine. But if you're at a level and age and stuff where you're still able to get out and work out and function, get out and work out and start getting yourself healthier. Because no matter what your age, you can still get healthier, and it's only going to benefit you. And I'm a big fan of that. I don't know, maybe you guys are noticing that, but I love to work out and work that body out and express it, and you feel more human. So that's what humans are made for. That's going to be the 31st on a Tuesday, I believe it is. Just a couple days. Just a couple more days, yeah. It'll be on a Tuesday. We'll go live on a Tuesday. So if you're not doing anything, James, jump on in that stream. Be pretty fun and stuff. No alcohol. I don't drink alcohol and stuff anymore. So not for me, not my not my thing. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, Venom. All right, guys. I'm gonna land the plane, like Jeff says. I think it's been a pretty good show. Hopefully, it's pretty informative. I try to get a little bit better and try to show stuff that I'm not trying to talk about. And sometimes, I gotta correct myself. I thought some of the things I thought about the details of that caveman accent were a little off. So I want to make sure I'm a little bit more spot on with some of the stuff that I got stored in the memory of vaults and all that stuff. So if you guys didn't take a look at the last live stream, we showed a little bit of footage of the UFO in the outer space being shot at by laser systems, codenamed Star Wars laser systems from Ronald Reagan days of Operation Star Wars, where they would put satellites with lasers in the space, and they would shoot down nuclear warheads as they were about to cross over and reach the lower atmosphere, and they would be shot down by these laser weapons that were in satellites. Officially, the program never went anywhere. Unofficially, well, we have laser weapons that are on ships now for the Navy, and we have demonstrations that we showed on that live stream of particle weapons, of laser weapons. So we also showed the Lockheed Martin special rocket jet engine drone thing that they had shooting thrusters on all sides of it. A very UFO looking aircraft. So a couple of interesting stuff that you guys can check out. Also check out this latest video I just uploaded before this live stream of a Bigfoot. Is it a Bigfoot? I don't know. Some type of creature in a tree, shaking this tree, breaking limbs off, and actually breaks a pretty significantly big branch off in front of this homeowner that's videotaping it. What is it? What do you guys think? I want you guys to make comments, raise some noise, let me know. And we actually never even played that fucking footage this week or on this live show. So we'll have to do that for New Year. So give you guys a little bit more time to dive into that video and get your thoughts on it. So if you guys want to join for this next live stream for the New Year's, let me know in advance so I can throw the link out for you guys and you guys can get ready. Otherwise, the link probably was going to be in the live chat at some point. So with all that, I'm going to give a huge shout out to Restream. Fuck StreamYard. It's overpriced bullshit. Corporate money greedy bastards have took my money enough, and I am totally dissatisfied. So if you are dissatisfied with StreamYard as much as I had become, especially with that price hike, and you want to have a common sense, level-headed, convenient way to stream the same exact way, same exact features as StreamYard, I would suggest you check out Restream, and that is what I am using and stuff. And if you want to get some special discounts and stuff, I would suggest that you look at all of the stuff you can look at Restream, because hidden in some of their questions about Restream versus StreamYard is some special discounts that you could potentially get, saving you a lot of money and potentially getting a lifetime discount like I received when I made the switch from StreamYard to Restream. And they actually gave me a lifetime discount. I think it's 16% off for life. So can't beat it. Does everything I want it to do. Does everything differently. A little bit different setup and stuff, but I'm loving it. It does everything I want it to do. And it is half the price, well below half the price of StreamYard's now basic packages. It's like $45, $50 a month. You get $19 a month, or you buy yearly, it gets discounted. Or if you make the switch and you get the special promo code, you get even more off and maybe a lifetime discount. Like I got lucky and did. So if you guys need help doing that, shout out to me. I will help go do that and help you firsthand and try to make sure you guys get the same discount that I was able to get and hopefully get a lifetime. Anyways, that is about it, guys. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. I really enjoy all the interaction, comments, everything. And yeah, feeling pretty good. I might do another 50 push-ups, and then I got a couple hundred more to get done by before this next live stream, and then I'll be at 5,000 push-ups, and then I think I'll be pretty satisfied. Maybe take a little bit of a break before I jump right back into it, shattering more records and pushing myself beyond my limits. Because that's the only thing that you can do as a human being is push yourself to be better and better and better. And the only way to do that is to never give up. And I think to pray, to wish well on others, and to bless those who are definitely less fortunate than all of us. And I think that, it's time for Americans and people around the world to stand up on integrity and stand against injustice wherever they see it. And otherwise, we're going to lose what really means to be human and American and living on this planet Earth, I think there's a lot of crap out there. So exercise. Get yourself looking good, feeling good, and performing good. Let me get this video up. And I hope God bless each and every one of you, and you have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Thank you for sharing your time with me.